At the dawn of the 20th century, the world was on the edge of change. Empires spanned continents. But in the Far East, a storm was building. It would shatter old assumptions, This was the Russo-Japanese War. Historians call it World War Zero, the first truly modern war. Russia, vast and frozen, sought warm water ports in the Pacific. Its empire stretched across Siberia. Japan, once isolated, had transformed after the Meiji Restoration. It built railways, industry. In Korea and Manchuria lay the crossroads of empire. Both Russia and Japan believed dominance there was essential for survival. Japan's victory over China in 1895 shocked the world. But when it claimed the Liaodong, Russia then seized the territory for itself, fortifying Port Arthur. To Japan, this was betrayal and humiliation. By 1900, Russian troops flooded into Manchuria during the Boxer Rebellion. They stayed. On February 8, 1904, without warning, Japanese torpedo boats struck the Russian fleet at Port Arthur. The world gasped. A small Asian nation had attacked a European giant first. Japanese troops poured into Korea, securing Seoul and pushing toward Manchuria. At the Yalu River, Japan won a stunning victory, driving Russian forces back across Manchuria.
Across Asia, the news electrified people. An Asian nation had humbled a European power.
Japan laid siege to Port Arthur, the prized Russian stronghold. The fortress was ringed by steel and fire.
At sea, Japanese warships blockaded Port Arthur, trapping the Russian fleet within its harbor.
The siege became a brutal grind of trenches and artillery, foreshadowing the horrors of World War I. After months of slaughter, Port Arthur fell in January 1905. Russia's great fortress was gone. Russia's Baltic Fleet began a desperate journey, sailing halfway around the world to reach Japan. Admiral Rozhestvensky led the weary fleet, knowing their mission was desperate and perhaps doomed. In February 1905, at Mukden, one of history's largest battles erupted, with over 500,000 men in combat. Japan pressed forward relentlessly, breaking Russian defenses and driving them into retreat. The Russians lost nearly 90,000 men. It was a catastrophe that shook the empire. In May 1905, at the Tsushima Strait, Russia's weary fleet met Japan's waiting navy. The Japanese navy annihilated the Russians. Of 38 ships, only a handful survived. Japan triumphed at sea. The defeat stunned the world. An Asian navy had destroyed Europe's might.
Peace talks opened in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Both nations, bled white, sought an end to the war.
Japan gained influence in Korea and southern Manchuria, but many at home felt cheated of a greater prize. For Russia, the war was a humiliation. The Tsar's prestige crumbled, fueling unrest at home. For Japan, it was proof of rising power. The nation stood proudly as Asia's new force.
Across Asia, the victory stirred hope. Colonized peoples dreamed of freedom from empire.
In Europe, Japan's victory set alarm bells ringing. The balance of power had shifted eastward. The Russo-Japanese War foreshadowed World War I, taught trenches, machine guns, and mass slaughter. It was the dawn of modern warfare. Industry, steel, and new machines of death defined the struggle. Its legacy was vast. Revolutions stirred in Russia, Asia awakened, and the world trembled at what was to come. Historians call it World War Zero, the first great clash of the modern age, and a warning of what lay ahead.